The reason you feel like you can't hold on is simply because you haven't seen the whole game yet. In Buddhism, we don't talk about good luck or bad luck. We talk about the ripening of conditions. What you are going through right now isn't some random cruelty from the universe. It is the inevitable intersection of countless causes and effects finally landing in your life. It didn't arrive a second too early, and it won't stay a second too late. It landed exactly at the moment you were meant to face it, and exactly when you were strong enough to carry it. You think it's an accident, but it's karma. You think it's a punishment, but it's a clearing, a reckoning, and a rebirth. In the middle of the pain, so many of us ask, why me? But the truth is, who else could it be? What you are meant to experience, you cannot escape. And what isn't yours to carry will never be forced upon you. This isn't just a comforting thought. This is the cold, calm reality of the law of cause and effect. The Buddhist scriptures say that karma follows you like a shadow. Your current situation isn't some act of God thrown at you by whim. It is the result of every step you've taken up until today. Where are you standing right now? That isn't fate, it's where your own feet have led you. You think you're being controlled by outside forces, but the seeds were planted long ago. True wisdom isn't saying, whatever, I give up. It's seeing clearly that things must be exactly as they are right now. You feel pain because you are resisting. You feel suffering because you are fighting against the present moment. The second you stop picking a fight with reality, the weight of your suffering instantly drops by half. Most of the time, the burden isn't too heavy. It's just that your heart refuses to let go. You're clinging to old standards, old identities, old attachments. You're mourning the person you used to be, and in doing so, you're strangling the new version of yourself that is trying to be born. The Dharma tells us everything new must first be preceded by a collapse. If nothing falls apart, you stay trapped in an old, decaying life forever. I've seen people lose jobs, go through bankruptcies, and face divorces, feeling like their lives were being pulled out by the roots. But years later, they look back and realize that very collapse was what forced them off a dead-end track. At the moment, it looks like a disaster, but from a distance, it looks like a rescue. Zen says, before awakening, mountains are mountains, and waters are waters. During awakening, mountains are no longer mountains, and waters are no longer waters. After a great awakening, mountains are once again mountains, and waters are once again waters. The world hasn't changed, only your heart has. When you don't understand, it looks like a catastrophe. When you finally see, it looks like a path. What you're going through right now is the same. You think life is cornering you, but life is actually forcing you to drop the things you're gripping too tightly. You're in pain not because the situation is cruel, but because you won't let go. You won't let go of your face, your need for control, your false sense of security. But for destiny to give you a new world, it has to tear down the old walls first. Your bad luck is actually the universe settling your debts. Your loss is actually the universe unloading the unnecessary weight you've been carrying. The process of settling debts always always hurts. The moment of unloading always feels empty, but that emptiness is the only entrance to a new life. The Heart Sutra says, "Form is emptiness, emptiness is form. What you lose isn't truly gone, and what you gain never appeared out of thin air. You are simply moving from one state of being to another. From one side you see destruction, from the other you see completion. If you don't pass this test now, you will keep coming back to it. New people, new places, new scenarios. But the lesson remains the same. Why do so many people fall into the same hole over and over? It's not bad luck, it's a refusal to see. Life will hit you exactly where you try to hide. Fate will strike exactly what you are most attached to until you finally see your own greed, your own fear, and your own emptiness. The moment you stop demanding that the world goes your way, that is the moment the situation begins to shift. The weight you're carrying now is the foundation you'll stand on later. The obstacle you're climbing over now is the reason you won't be easily knocked down again. The universe never gives you a burden you can't move, but it will place the weight exactly where you need to be forged. It feels unfair when you only look at yourself, but if you stand back and look at the long river of cause and effect, everything is balanced with terrifying precision. Why you? Because you are the one who walked this far. Who else should carry it? Zen doesn't tell you that you are a victim. Zen tells you that you have the strength to carry this fellow. You think you're weak because you haven't been pushed to the point of awakening yet. Most people don't lose to fate, they lose to their own refusal to face it. The more you run, the more it chases, the more you stand still, the more it retreats. If you are at rock bottom right now, don't rush to prove yourself. Don't rush to win. Do just one thing. Stand your ground. Don't run. Don't complain. Walk through it. Don't try to go around it. One day you'll realize that the very step you tried so hard to avoid was the turning point where your life actually began. Everything that seems like it's going off the rails is actually pushing you back toward the track you were meant to be on. There are no wasted steps. The tears you cry now are not for nothing. You just haven't reached the part of the story where it all makes sense yet. When you finally do, you will want to bow down to your younger self. You will thank that person for not running, for holding on. You will say, everything really was the best possible arrangement, not because it was easy, but because it was exactly what was needed to wake you up. The storm you're fighting right now is just clearing the dust off your life. Real transformation doesn't happen when you're at your peak. It happens when you're most desperate, most helpless, and most ready to give up. The dead end you're facing, that's often the starting line for the next phase. You'll see many things you fought to keep would have only kept you trapped. Many things you thought you couldn't live without, once dropped, allowed your life to finally start moving. Destiny takes things away, not to punish you, but to empty your hands, so you can receive what actually belongs to you. One day you'll look back at this moment from a different height. You'll understand that all the grievances, the patience, the falls and the restarts were quietly pushing you toward a life you couldn't even imagine back then. You will finally become the person you were always meant to be, the one who stood in the darkest night and refused to leave the stage.